The success of the One Piece live action is an anomaly. We have never seen such a phenomenon happen. Some of you may argue that Alita Battle Angel and the Age of Tomorrow movies may have had a greater success, but those are shows that are drastically different to One Piece, and in my opinion are way easier to adapt than a fantastical battle shonen with more than 1000 chapters. And let's not forget, those were movies. One Piece with a favorable rating for a live action on review aggregators such as Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, having 140 million watch time hours in its first week, almost the same as The Witcher Season 1, also being the top show in 86 countries, breaking the record set by Wednesday and Stranger Things Season 4. It's safe to say One Piece has exceeded all expectations. The co-CEO of Netflix has even come out and said that One Piece is a success, and there are also talks of season 2 with rumors of the script for the second season already being finished. We can see that One Piece has been a commercial success, but what about the contents within this show? Did this show actually live up to the hype of its source material? For me, it didn't live up to the manga or the anime, but that's not to say I didn't enjoy the show. I mean, there are only few stories whose adaptations surpass their source material, and that is just normal. Even the Death Note live action... Sorry, my bad. Even the Rurouni Kenshin live action couldn't do that. This One Piece live action is one of the best anime live actions out there, and that's a great accomplishment. But I feel like it could have been way better if they structured the story in a different manner. I feel like they cut some stuff that shouldn't have been cut and added things to the story that are unnecessary. Things I feel like shouldn't have been cut are some of the side characters, such as Whoop Slap in Windmill Village, the cooks in Baratie, Usopp's friends in his village, the two bounty hunter acquaintance of Zoro, Johnny and Yosaku. Well, you might say these are side characters and they are not that important to the grander story. Yes, they are not, but having these types of side characters in the story made the world of One Piece feel lived in, and also made it feel grander. You might also argue that this live action can't accommodate that many characters since it's only 8 episodes, but I feel like had the story didn't add unnecessary stuff that wasn't in the anime and manga, such as Garp's subplot, it would have had time for such characters. I know there are some people who love the Garp subplot, but wouldn't it have been better if we had more time dedicated in fleshing the world and characters a tad bit more than seeing Garp chase around Luffy? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And one of the utilities that has been lost from not having that many characters in this show is that these characters can serve as a very effective hype machines. When Zoro and Mihawk were fighting in the manga and anime, we've got the bounty hunter brothers Johnny and Yosaku, as well as Don Krieg's pirates, talking about how great Mihawk is and how pirate hunter Zoro is also great. When we see a lot of characters in a story giving attention to an event and react to it, it adds a lot of gravity to that event happening and makes us, the readers, also feel the tension and emotion the side characters feel. Another example could be when Marineford was unfolding and we see side characters such as the citizens of the One Piece world react to the war in Sabaody on the big screen. Their intense reaction to the war tells us, the audience, that this event is a big deal and you can feel it. I'm not saying it's because of the side characters reacting to the Marineford war that Marineford felt like a huge event. I mean, Whitebeard was fighting the entirety of the Marines. That alone in and of itself is a huge deal, but the icing on the cake was seeing the impact that this war had on the citizens of the One Piece world, and not having that in the live action feels like a huge miss to me, to something that would have become very special had it happened. Another element that we miss by not having as many side characters is that it diminishes the impact the Straw Hats have on their world. One thing that One Piece does, and it's one of its strengths as a story, is the impact the Straw Hats have on their world, such as in the case of East Blue, seeing Whoop Slap in the villagers not wanting Luffy to be a pirate but wanting to see him succeed regardless, such as how the Straw Hats grip the heart of the people they meet in every island they go to, for example the mayor in the dog Chocho in Orange Town, such as how Nami is so beloved by the citizens of her village that her actions led them to fight the hour-long pirates for her sake, risking their life in the process. And had the One Piece live action cut out the unnecessary stuff like the Garp subplot, this could have been incorporated into the story and enhanced the quality of the One Piece live action. Another miss for me in the live action was introducing events that happen way later in the story. And I feel like by doing this, it makes events that are to happen later in the story feel way less impactful. And I feel like they did this in two occasions, such as Garp's introduction and making Arlong talk about the suffering of his people. When we watched the Arlong Park arc in the manga and anime for the first time, it is revealed to us that the fishmen think they are a superior race to humans because they are 10 times stronger and can breathe underwater. A simple yet sufficient motivation for Arlong and the fishmen. That's all we knew about them, so later on in the story when it gets revealed that fishmen are discriminated against, it hits hard because it recontextualizes and adds a whole lot of substance to Arlong's and the fishmen's motivations. But in the live action, it is revealed by Arlong that the fishmen used to be slaves to humans and are being discriminated against. So I feel like it kinda detracts from the big revelation that we might get in the Sabo Odi arc, where we learn how fishmen get treated. Also, the thing with Garp is a problem. He was this weird marine that we see in the manga and anime for a little amount of time in the cover pages in the East Blue, and later on turned out to be a vice admiral who is also Luffy's grandpa. And when that revelation happened, it was one of the most shocking revelations in the Water 7 saga. Also, the scene when the Straw Hats meet Aokiji for the first time and he talks about Luffy's grandpa, I feel will lose its impact. That sense of mystery that One Piece is so good at hooking you with, I feel will diminish if the writers of the One Piece live action mess with the plot too much. But One Piece live action is still a success. One Piece is one of the most difficult source materials to bring into live action, and the people who have worked on it have managed that even though the show has its flaws. And I feel like this One Piece live action got away with its problems because it's being judged as an anime live action. It's being compared to Cowboy Bebop's live action, which was abysmal. But I want this One Piece live action to compete with the big dogs such as Game of Thrones and The Last of Us, and to do this they need to be really ambitious production wise. I know they have been ambitious with this one, like building the Baratie and all, but they need to go up a level, how Amazon's Rings of Power was, to truly show the epicness of One Piece. But that might just be my wishful thinking. I really hope that the people who are working on the second season of the One Piece live action learn from the mistake of the first season and bring to us an even better second season. And that's going to be a tall task, because if the second season is going to be covering the Alabasta arc, that's a lot of content to go through, and 8 episodes can't just cut it. It needs to be at least 10 episodes, and I have a guess as to why Netflix made this first season of One Piece only 8 episodes. One of the major criticisms for the live action Cowboy Bebop was that it was bloated and it was 10 episodes. And that's what's going to happen if you did that with Cowboy Bebop, because Cowboy Bebop is a short story with each of the anime's episode being 20 minutes. Each episode of the Netflix Cowboy Bebop can cover 3 episodes of the anime's episodes, since the Netflix Cowboy Bebop's episode were 1 hour. Multiply that by 10 and you get 30 episodes, and the Cowboy Bebop was only 26 episodes, so it was inevitable to be bloated. One Piece is the exact opposite. There's so much content in One Piece, even 10 1-hour Netflix episodes won't be enough if we try to adapt the story properly. So I feel like Netflix thought that people people will feel the story is dragging if they made it 10 episodes, but if that is truly the case, they couldn't be further from the truth. So I hope if we do get a second season that it has more episodes than the first season, and that the people working on it have learned from the shortcomings of the first season so that we can get an even better product. That's all I've got to say for today. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also like and comment. It really helps the channel, and with that said, see you in the next one.